Welcome to our video on The Body Keeps the Score, a powerful book that delves into the impact of trauma on the brain, mind, and body. In this video, we will scratch the surface of the book and highlight some of its key takeaways. However, it's important to note that this video is just a small glimpse into the depth and complexity of the book. To learn more, we encourage you to buy the book at the link in the comments below. 1. Trauma affects the brain, mind, and body. Trauma can have a profound impact on individuals, and its effects can manifest in various ways. The Body Keeps the Score highlights that trauma affects not only the mind, but also the brain and the body. Trauma can change the way the brain processes information and how it responds to stress, leading to an altered state of consciousness. Furthermore, trauma can lead to chronic physical and mental health conditions, such as anxiety, depression, chronic pain, and autoimmune disorders. The book emphasizes that treating trauma requires addressing all three aspects of the trauma response: the brain, the mind, and the body. Traditional talk therapy may not be enough to fully heal trauma, and alternative approaches such as mindfulness, yoga, and body-based therapies may be more effective. By acknowledging the impact of trauma on the brain, mind, and body, individuals can begin to understand the complex nature of trauma and the importance of addressing all aspects of the trauma response. This understanding can lead to more effective treatment approaches and ultimately healing from the effects of trauma. 2. Traditional talk therapy may not be enough to fully heal trauma. The book argues that while talk therapy can be helpful in processing trauma, it may not always be sufficient, as trauma is stored in the body and not just in the mind. Many trauma survivors struggle to connect with their bodies and their physical sensations, which can hinder their ability to fully process and release trauma. Therefore, alternative approaches such as mindfulness, yoga, and body-based therapies are often more effective in treating trauma than traditional talk therapy alone. The book encourages individuals to explore different approaches to healing trauma and to find what works best for them. By recognizing that talk therapy is not the only option for healing trauma, individuals can open themselves up to new possibilities for healing and growth. 3. Trauma must be processed and released through the body. The book argues that trauma is not just a psychological issue, but also a physiological one. Trauma is stored in the body, and therefore, it must be addressed through the body. The book highlights that trauma survivors often experience physical symptoms such as chronic pain, digestive issues, and headaches. These physical symptoms are often a manifestation of the trauma stored in the body. Therefore, it is crucial to address the body's physical sensations and release the trauma through techniques such as body-based therapies, yoga, and mindfulness. By recognizing the importance of addressing the body and healing trauma, individuals can begin to reconnect with their bodies and the physical sensations that come with trauma. This can help them to process and release the trauma stored in their bodies, leading to a more complete healing process. 4. Self-regulation techniques, such as mindfulness and yoga, can be effective in treating trauma. The book emphasizes that trauma survivors often struggle with regulating their emotions and physical sensations, which can lead to a state of constant fear and anxiety. Self-regulation techniques can help individuals to become more aware of their emotions and physical sensations, and to regulate them in a healthy way. Mindfulness and yoga, for example, can help individuals to become more present and aware of their thoughts and feelings, and to develop a sense of control over their bodies and minds. The book argues that self-regulation techniques can be particularly effective in treating trauma because they empower individuals to take control of their own healing process. By practicing self-regulation techniques, individuals can learn to regulate their emotions and physical sensations, leading to a more complete healing process. 5. Trauma can be passed down through generations. The book highlights that trauma can affect not only the individual who experiences it, but also their children and even grandchildren. Trauma can be passed down through a variety of mechanisms, including epigenetic changes in DNA, altered brain development, and learned behaviors. Trauma survivors may also pass down their own unresolved trauma to their children through their parenting behaviors, leading to a cycle of trauma that can continue for generations. The book emphasizes the importance of addressing intergenerational trauma and breaking the cycle of trauma. By recognizing the impact of trauma on future generations, individuals can work to heal their own trauma and prevent it from being passed down to their children and grandchildren. 6. Trauma can manifest in physical symptoms and conditions. The book highlights that trauma can have a profound impact on the body, leading to chronic physical health conditions such as chronic pain, autoimmune disorders, and gastrointestinal issues. The book argues that these physical symptoms are often a manifestation of the trauma stored in the body. Therefore, it is essential to address the body's physical sensations and release the trauma through techniques such as body-based therapies, yoga, and mindfulness. By recognizing the connection between trauma and physical symptoms, individuals can begin to explore alternative approaches to healing that address both the mind and the body. This can lead to a more complete healing process and relief from chronic physical symptoms. 7. Reconnecting with the body and its sensations can aid in healing trauma. The book argues that trauma survivors often disconnect from their bodies as a way of coping with their trauma. This disconnection can lead to a sense of numbness, dissociation, and a lack of awareness of physical sensations. The book highlights that reconnecting with the body and its sensations can be a powerful tool in healing trauma. Techniques such as body-based therapies, yoga, and mindfulness can help individuals to become more aware of their physical sensations and to reconnect with their bodies in a safe and healthy way. By reconnecting with the body, individuals can begin to process and release the trauma stored in their bodies. This can lead to a more complete healing process and a greater sense of well-being. 8. Trauma survivors can benefit from connecting with others who have experienced similar trauma. The book highlights that trauma can be isolating and that individuals who have experienced trauma often feel alone in their experiences. Connecting with others who have experienced similar trauma can be a powerful tool in healing. It can provide a sense of validation, support, and understanding that is difficult to find elsewhere. Group therapy, support groups, and peer-to-peer networks can all be effective ways of connecting with others who have experienced trauma. By connecting with others who have experienced similar trauma, individuals can begin to feel less isolated and more supported in their healing journey. This can lead to a greater sense of well-being and a more complete healing process. 9. Trauma can be processed through artistic expression and movement. The book argues that trauma can be difficult to express through words alone, and that alternative forms of expression such as art and movement can be effective in processing and releasing trauma. Artistic expression and movement can help individuals to access and express emotions and physical sensations that may be difficult to articulate verbally. These forms of expression can also provide a sense of control and empowerment, which can be particularly important for trauma survivors who may feel a sense of helplessness and lack of control. By exploring alternative forms of expression such as art and movement, individuals can tap into their creativity and find new ways of processing and releasing trauma. This can lead to a more complete healing process and a greater sense of well-being. 10. The healing of trauma is a lifelong process. The book argues that healing from trauma is not a one-time event, but rather a continuous journey that requires ongoing attention and care. Trauma can have a profound impact on individuals, and its effects can last a lifetime. Therefore, healing from trauma requires ongoing self-care, self-reflection, and self-awareness. It also requires a willingness to address new challenges and triggers that may arise throughout life. The book emphasizes that healing from trauma is not a linear process, and it may involve setbacks and challenges along the way. However, by recognizing the lifelong nature of the healing process, individuals can approach their healing journey with patience, compassion, and resilience. By accepting that healing from trauma is a lifelong process, individuals can focus on building a foundation of self-care and self-awareness that will support them throughout their lives. This can lead to a greater sense of well-being, resilience, and a more complete healing process. Thank you for watching our video on The Body Keeps the Score. We hope that this video has provided you with a greater understanding of trauma and its effects, and has encouraged you to explore the book further. Remember, this video is just a small scratch of the book. To learn more, we encourage you to buy the book at the link in the comments below. Healing from trauma is a lifelong process, but with the right tools and support, it is possible. We hope that The Body Keeps the Score can be a valuable resource for you on your healing journey.